Ready? All right, here we go. Thank you for tuning in to episode 3 of the Sultan of Slow Drip podcast. I am your host, the Sultan of Slow Drip, aka Justin Doggett, the owner and founder of Kyoto Black Coffee. And this is my good buddy Corey, who's joining me today to do a tasting of water. Last episode, we talked a lot about water and how different minerals affect the coffee and also affect your body. And I thought it would be a great segue into this episode to taste different waters from Devon Market across the street. They all have different unique qualities to them that we'll go into with our tasting. But before I do that, I just want to introduce Corey to the podcast. So we used to work together at Metropolis Coffee years ago, like what, 6-7 years ago, something like that. We worked together.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was like Corey's trainer. So you know, he came in pretty new to coffee, right?
Oh, beginner's mind, total beginner's mind.
So, but Corey like really took to it, like everything he does in life, and became super obsessed with just tasting the different nuances in the coffee. Mm-hmm. And I would say you really became like kind of a foodie, a gourmand type person.
Yeah, I had absolutely zero experience with anything when it comes to like palate training or anything like that. And it was an eye-opening experience to a whole new world.
So let me ask you something. Like before you started working at Metropolis, were you like really into food at all or anything? Like what was your thing about food?
I mean, no more than like your typical American would be. Like everything just based on like the exorbitant taste of something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember like when I was the trainer at Metropolis. It was my job to get the whole staff good with all the drink preparations, and a part of that too was making sure that their palate was aligned, so everyone had like a similar reference point. So we would have this flavor wheel. You remember the flavor wheel? Like, where you would, and like there's this whole exercise where I'm like, okay, you're in a room, and the room has different doors. One says fruit, one says chocolate, one says caramel, and then you walk through that door and you're in a new room. So if you go through the fruit door, now it says like cherry and apple and all these different things. So we would have these kind of mental exercises for how to cause a link between your tongue, your brain, and then your ability to articulate it and express it to other people. Because taste is really just sensory recall. You know, you can't describe something that you can't recall. So the thing that you need to do, and it's actually, this segues into the question of the day, which comes from Corey. And Corey said, what was your exact question? It was, how do you train your palate? Well,
Yeah. How do you begin to even train your palate to find the more of the complexities of whatever you're tasting, whether it be like water today, coffee, food, and like where does one begin?
Yeah. So I would say there are like so many different ways to approach that depending on what level you're at. So the first thing I would say, the kind of foundational thing I would say is try to eat things that you actually think are good for you. I think on the whole, food that is like more nutritious tends to have more flavor. If you've ever had like a really good apple, well, it's got more nutrients in it. If you've ever had really good spinach, it's usually darker and it has just a great appearance. So like seek out foods, for one, that just look like they're going to be better for your body. And those generally will have just kind of more richness to them. So that would be the first thing I would say. The next thing I would say, which is a big thing, and I know Americans, we tend to be kind of very busy, and we eat kind of as a function of just life rather than to enjoy
convenience.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just a biological process. It's not like, you know, some people literally look at food, it's just fuel. Yeah. Right? And that's it. And I would say to kind of change your attitude towards food from being fuel to being something that is actually what you live to, and to eat as an exclusive activity. So like, don't do something while you eat.
Don't be on your phone.
Don't be on your phone. That's a huge one.
Yeah.
Don't be on your phone. I would say maybe the thing you could do is talk to people, you know, like in person. Because like, especially if you guys are sharing a meal or sharing the same food, people tend to talk about the thing that they're actually enjoying together. So there is a way that you can, you know, multitask or get something else done. Because developing a relationship, you're still getting something done while you eat, right? Other people, they want to like be on the computer or work and all that stuff. Yeah. So I would say, if you're going to do anything, have a conversation with someone like who's present, enjoying the same experience. That way you guys can really be in the moment. Yeah. Rather than kind of zoning out and just eating as a byproduct, because you won't really be even thinking about what it tastes like. Right. And you might even overeat too. You might just start eating so much.
Right. If you don't have that awareness around what you're doing.
Yeah, and then the last thing I would say I could go on all day, I could talk hours about this, but I think the last thing I would say about palate development is try different versions of the same thing in a sequence.
What do you mean?
So like, let's say you go get some apples or oranges,
Okay.
like get a Granny Smith,
Oh.
get a Gala,
Yeah.
get a Pink Lady, get a Honey Crisp. Just get different apples and then just try them all together. Just try a little piece of them all together.
Right.
So that will give you an idea of like, you know, what makes a Granny Smith different from a Honey Crisp.
Okay.
You know, in some ways they're very similar. They both have very high acidity, right?
Yeah.
But the Honey Crisp also has high sweetness.
Right.
The Granny Smith is a little harder
Right.
than the Honey Crisp.
So if I'm going down that flavor wheel and I go down the apple door,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can go a step further.
You go a step further.
What kind of apple?
What kind of apple? Is it the skin of the apple or is it the flesh of the apple?
Right.
Is the apple baked? Is it raw?
Oh, right, right.
Is it fried?
Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there are so many different ways that you can go. It's not just flavor, it's also textures, it's things that go around
Mm-hmm.
the core flavor itself.
Right.
You know, a baked apple is very different from a raw apple.
Right, right.
So yeah, so that's what I would say. I would say just make sure that you're eating something that looks appealing, that is healthy, that is by your own standards, what you think is good for your body. If it looks good, chances are it probably tastes good. That you're eating as a sole function, that's all that you're doing. You're not multitasking, you're not just mindlessly eating and snacking away. Your waistline will thank you, and also you'll be able to kind of appreciate the food a little bit more. And then the last one is try different versions of the same food, preferably all together, just so you can kind of compare them together. The contrast between them will kind of give your palate more information and just make it just more refined. And that's what we have planned for today. So in the last episode, we talked about water for coffee and mineral waters and why they're good for your body. I brought this up to Victor. I don't know if you know this, but you know you're not supposed to drink distilled water, right?
I actually did because it strips it of all the minerals.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the non-mineral water.
I'm not a water sommelier.
You're not, but you're a fitness guy,
I am.
right?
I
So
am.
you,
Yeah.
where'd you hear about that?
I mean, just general. I mean, yeah, I think water is a very important element of health and
Yeah.
wellness that most people we take for granted, and we just don't know a lot about it.
Mhm.
Maybe because it's not very interesting. But I always hear the trope that people always say Chicago has really good tap water.
We do.
Yeah.
We really do. Actually,
Yeah.
we're pretty lucky. When I make my coffee, because a lot of places you have to do like reverse osmosis, where you strip the water completely of minerals,
Mhm.
and then you re-add minerals back to the water in the right ratio
Right.
and at the right levels.
Right.
Chicago water, all I need is a very simple filter that will knock down the levels.
Yeah.
Because the ratios are already good.
Okay.
It's just the levels a little.
And then
hard.
there's that chlorine content.
yeah.
Right.
And,
that taste. That,
yeah.
Yeah.
And at least in places that I've lived in, we haven't had chlorine flavor in our water so much. Do you get any in your tap
Yeah,
water?
yeah, I think I do.
You do?
And so I don't know if it's a characteristic of the age of my building, but I have one of those Berkey water filters, like
Yeah.
the stainless steel.
Mhm.
It's got these fluoride filters as well as these really big charcoal filters.
Mhm.
Really, it's almost like they call it like a prepper.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
because it can be used in a situation where you could put pretty much any type of water,
Mhm.
even straight from a stream or dirty water,
Yeah.
and it's going to be able to filter that out for you.
And that's just through what is it, filtered through like a stone medium, or is it like a man-made kind of material?
Yeah, it's like a man-made, these really intense charcoal filters, and then there's also these, they're like fluoride-based filters, but they also filter out other impurities. I don't think people realize how many the remnants of prescription pills from people
Oh, yeah.
going to the bathroom and then it getting recycled.
I've
in
heard
our
that's
water.
actually a big thing with
Yeah.
recycled water.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really the basis of it, and it really does change the taste of the water because it does take all that chlorine out.
Okay. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
He was the perfect guy to have on for this episode.
I love
episode.
water.
Yeah, that's great. Let's get into some water tasting.
Okay.
So I have these lined up in a way, not to influence you too much, but I think it'll be pretty obvious how different these waters are. So I have them kind of in what I think is the order of least intense to most intense. These are all natural waters, so the mineral content that they contain is actually source minerals, which means the water ran over stones, and then it stripped those stones of minerals, and now those minerals are dissolved in the water.
Okay.
So different water sources are prized for the local geography in terms of whether it's limestones or just different types of stones that they strip their minerals from. And actually, ancient beer making, so back when people first started making beers, there were certain styles that were predominant in certain areas based on the local water mineral content.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, like you couldn't even pull off certain beers styles depending on where your water was sourced from.
Right, right.
So yeah, so it's just it's super interesting, and let's get to the first water, which is I hope I say all these right, but this is called sarikris, I think is how you say that, and
it looks like medicine.
it does look like medicine,
Like a medicine bottle.
Yeah. So water is medicine, right?
Right.
Here you go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Do you want some too, Victor?
I'm good.
So the first thing that I like to notice about this, because we look at it first, the effervescence, the bubbles is just very tight. It's almost like champagne. They just cascade like very lively, small, tight bubbles.
Yes.
Which is one of the things I love about this water. It's called Palate here, and I'm wondering if that means Alka-Seltzer. Alka-Seltzer is like alkaline seltzer.
Right.
Yeah. Salud.
Yeah, salud.
So I'll let you go first. What do you think?
It's definitely got a flavor.
Yeah. What are you tasting from it?
I'm tasting like lime, but not lime, like limestone.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Does it make
Yeah,
sense? It's
yeah, it
more
does.
earthy.
It's earthy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get almost like a yeastiness from it. It's like someone's baking bread,
Mm.
and I can smell them baking the bread while I'm drinking water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I don't taste the bread, I smell it.
Okay.
Like, just fresh bread.
I love that you can pull that out.
But I think it's a characteristic of that limestone that you were saying, like
Yeah.
that earthiness. It's almost like chalk.
Yes.
Like you can smell someone writing with chalk, like
Yes.
that similar.
In like, I don't know how to explain this, but it does taste more alkaline. You know, more basic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And then the bubbles are just like, really, they just go all over.
yes.
Like this, I love this water.
Very
so much.
champagne.
Very
Very
champagne.
champagne. Yeah.
Yeah, they really just kind of dance on your tongue and just explode. So, when this is on sale, I pick up just tons of it.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
I
and
feel
it's-
like if I had a stomach ache, this would bring me
Yes.
back.
I think it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This would be great for just settling your stomach. It's great with like just a little bit of lemon in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, the water itself is it's neutral enough that I think it mixes with like coffee, for example, really well. Like if you want to do a coffee soda.
Okay.
Some of these waters are a little more extreme, you'll see.
Hmm.
And this one, less extreme, so it's much. And then also too, the bubbles are so pervasive that it doesn't lose its strength and become weak. Because some sparkling waters that are very like kind of weak,
Yeah.
if you mix them into something else, they get more diluted.
Oh sure.
And it completely loses its sparkle.
Oh sure.
Yeah. All right, next one. Wow. Yeah. Lime.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, Borsec, which calls itself the queen of mineral waters. So yeah,
What's the king?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would guess, if I had to guess, I would say it would be what's that? Gerolsteiner. Gerolsteiner, I think. Yeah. Gerolsteiner is really good. I wish I
Yeah,
had
I was
that one,
surprised.
too.
I was surprised not to see it.
Yeah, Gerolsteiner is really good stuff.
The Germans. Where's this from?
This is from Romania, I believe.
Yep.
Romania.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Cheers. See, I see no bubbles. Like very, very
They're
few.
very sparse.
Yeah,
bubbles.
very few.
They just pop up here and there, here and there.
I remember see the camera.
Let's see. Completely different bubble quality altogether.
Yeah. Very subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like not as like well distributed.
Mm-hmm. Very soft water.
Very soft water.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
I think it's refreshing.
Yeah.
It's more subtle.
Yeah.
Feels less like medicine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this. I don't know. You know, this is be something I think I could casually drink,
Mm-hmm.
like throughout the day.
Mhm.
As the one that we just tried, I think I could just have a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's great that this one actually comes in these small little guys here.
I'm sure for a reason.
Yeah, you can just pound this, and it's It's got all kinds of mineral content. Like it's in a different language. I can't even read what that's in, but you can see how just mineralized this is across the board.
Yeah.
Turkey. So this is a product of Turkey.
Yeah.
Whereas the borsec, the predominant minerals here are going to be magnesium and calcium, and just a little bit of sodium. But even those levels are not so high. So
Yeah, I'm trying to pull like flavor out of it. I can't. There's nothing that's coming to my mind right away.
nothing that's
Yeah.
Maybe I should have had these two like this actually. Then
Yeah.
in my head they were kind of different, but because this one for me is so like refreshing
Yeah.
that I thought it was like this, but actually this one's a little bit
Yeah.
weaker. And maybe actually what I'll end up doing is seeing that they're really here, which is it's interesting like for me to kind of change my perspective after tasting them side by side.
Right.
Because I'm always having them just one at a time. I'm very seldom tasting these waters like this like we're doing
Right.
now. So all right, next water is Kanaj Milosh, I think is how you say it. All right, noticing a little more effervescence from this one
Yeah.
compared to the borsec. Let's see. Comparing the two as far as mineral content goes, so this one is going to have more calcium and less magnesium. So
Okay.
more calcium, less magnesium here. All right, let's go. Similar bubbles in terms of like how it looks in the cup.
Yes.
When I poured it, they looked almost identical. Or this one looked like it was more bubbly, but
Okay.
they look almost identical now in the cup. I do notice one big difference though. All right, it's saltier.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like drinking salt water.
Yeah. If you think this is like salt water, just wait.
Mm. And so is that a product of the amount of sodium in it?
Yeah. It has,
Okay.
Yeah. So this has there are 6 servings in this. And a serving is 8 ounces of this water, and you get about 10% of your recommended sodium just from one serving of this. So if you were to drink this whole thing, that would be, according to the nutrition facts, that would be 60% of the sodium you would need for the day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Crazy, right? From water.
From water. Yeah. But salt is an essential mineral of life.
It is.
And animals fight for it like they might fight, for a limestone.
Right,
To,
yeah.
just to lick it for a little salt.
Yeah. It's funny. I was reading like this survival blog.
Yeah.
And they were saying one of the things that you would like to get as a survival item is a salt stone.
Okay.
Not for yourself, but for animals to attract to, so you can hunt them.
Interesting.
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. That it's that valuable.
It's that valuable. That,
Right.
Yeah, a salt stone.
And that's just programmed into them.
They just know
Into
where
the animals. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
It's
need
like,
it.
they're
Yeah.
just looking for it, right? And it's not just the salt too. It's the calcium, the magnesium, all that stuff in that stone.
Sure.
Right? They need the whole profile
Right.
of minerals. Let me see if I can give this a origin. This is Serbian. So It's
Okay.
from Serbia. So far, 3 waters, 3 different countries.
Yeah.
All right, now this is where it gets really crazy.
I'm ready.
Are you?
No.
This is where it gets really crazy. Okay, so this water, it actually calls itself a dietary supplement as well. And it says if you drink too much, it may have a laxative effect on you because it is very high in magnesium. And as we know, Epsom salt, magnesium, all these things do loosen the bowels quite a bit. So I've heard that you might want to drink one of these a month just to make sure that you have magnesium,
In like one
in your
sitting?
diet.
Yeah.
Maybe not like in one sitting, but like over the course of a day.
Okay, like as you open it, you just like
You just,
kick it back.
exactly.
Yeah.
But if you look at these nutrition facts, you look at the magnesium, and it's 60% of your magnesium needed per serving.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's 4 servings of this. All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And also too, when you drink this, what you're gonna taste is, because this is magnesium heavy, so what you're tasting is really gonna be the magnesium from it.
Okay.
And this is a product of Slovenia.
All from like a similar area.
Yeah, yeah.
Aside from the turkey one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a, Western Europe.
Is that a cultural thing?
I'm sorry, not Eastern Europe.
Yeah, you think it's cultural?
It is, yeah. So in Eastern Europe, they just generally look at water more as a whole food as well.
Okay.
So the source of the water is very important. People pride themselves on their water, their local water. Like you go to a certain place and they'll brag about their local water.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Cheers.
Ooh, you can smell the
Oh,
magnesium.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, this is nice. Pretty tight bubbles. Like not so many of them.
Now that's medicine.
Yes. Whoa. So what are you getting from this?
Well, first thing, the mouthfeel
Yeah.
is it feels thick.
It is thick.
Yeah. Like almost like a film. It's almost leaving like a film
Yeah.
on my mouth.
Yeah, it's like slippery. It's like slippery and a little hard.
And I don't even know if I have the words to explain that taste. I don't even know if I have anything I can recall to pull from that. Maybe if I licked a battery or something?
Or like just flat out lick the rock. Like you're at the beach and you just like lick a rock or something.
Right.
Yeah, you just see this like salty looking rock and you just lick it. Like I'm getting tons of saltiness from it.
Yeah.
Which I think this is a fairly high sodium water as well. Yeah, it's got 15% of your sodium requirement in one serving. I think this is definitely something too, like you have an upset stomach.
Yeah.
you get
I've
close.
never had anything like this in my life.
Yeah.
Like not even close.
Would you be likely to try one of these again? Like
Yeah,
so far of what you've had?
Yeah, absolutely. But like you know me personally, I mean they don't, but
Yeah.
you know I love water.
Okay.
You know, I love different types of mineral water. I'm not, educated on the different nuances, but I do enjoy sampling different waters. Always have.
I can really smell this one too.
All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Right? All right. You ready?
Can.
Do you need any other water to kind of like reset your palate or anything?
No.
You good?
Mm-mm.
Okay, yeah. So this one is from Georgia. That I do know. It's got this crazy writing on the back, which I know is Georgian. So.
Not like Atlanta, Georgia.
Georgia,
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
Georgians.
This is Borjomi, and it has. I can't tell like how many different minerals this has in it. It's got all kinds of crazy stuff in it, and unfortunately, I can't read the script, so I don't know exactly what we're working with here. But I will tell you this much: I have a feeling there's like sulfate in this, and I have a feeling there's like even like silica in this. So yeah, this one's really, really out there. I talked to my Russian buddy that I was like, I get Borjomi from across the street. He's like, oh yeah, Borjomi, I love Borjomi. Like, it's so crazy water. Like,
Yeah.
so this one's pretty well known amongst Eastern Europeans as being a very intense water.
Yeah, we're looking at more of like that champagne bubble content
Yeah.
that we saw in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little more effervescence on it.
Yeah. More gas.
Yes, more neutral.
Yeah, more
smelling.
neutral. Yeah, I
more
can't get
neutral
anything.
smelling. Yep. All right. Last
All right,
one.
all right, last one.
Let's
Cheers,
get it.
man.
Cheers. Whoa,
That's wild.
that's nuts, right?
That's wild.
Super salty.
Very salty.
You know what? So I'm getting a flavor from this. I want to know if you're getting it. So is there anything that you're getting that's like crazy? I don't want to like suggest you yet.
No. Pull it.
Sand. Like the beach. Like this tastes like you just jumped in the water and you got a mouthful of water that just came right off the sand.
Yes.
Like it's got that. That's why I think it has like silica or something in it. That's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it reminds me of like I dove in the water
Yeah.
and like when the water is just full of sand because the tide's coming
Yeah.
in and it just gets into your palate and gets into your nose.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
At a saltwater beach.
Yes, at a saltwater beach, not
Like-
fresh water.
Definitely a saltwater beach.
Yeah.
Like you're in Miami or something. You just dove off. Boom. Just dove off the boat.
Yeah.
Boom. Just ate a bunch of like sand and water. And
Yeah. It's like I'm in a lagoon and I just open my mouth.
That is nuts.
Yeah. How's the mouth feel for you?
Very crisp.
Yeah.
Very crisp. And I can taste this water after I have already swallowed it.
Yes.
It's got a really long. So, of all the waters, I think this is the only one that has a mouthfeel, really, like, or
Yep.
a aftertaste.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like so, as we talk, I can still taste it.
You can taste it. I can smell it. I'm like exhaling it. There's something also. This is why I think there's like sulfate in it or some sort of sulfur like compound.
Yeah.
It's got this kind of egginess to it.
Yes. Yeah. Like like well water. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has it has like
Like
smells
that
like
salt-
eggs.
Yeah, it smells
Yeah.
like eggs. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But not like super duper like eggs.
No, not like a rotten egg.
Yeah.
Just like a maybe like a cooked egg.
Like a like a boiled egg.
A boiled egg.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like a very clean.
Oh
flavor,
yeah.
Like not.
And it's
also-
refreshing.
Yeah.
I want to say it's refreshing. It's not because like when we're talking about like eggs and water,
Mhm.
and I think it might be construed as like this doesn't taste good.
Yeah. Like it's not hot dog water.
No.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
For sure. And like very holistic. Like
Mhm.
it feels very natural. Like as a human being.
It tastes like medicine.
We evolved to drink water. Like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. And it's actually funny too because in nature you don't find distilled water. You don't find water that has no minerals.
Right.
So these selections of waters, this is just bottled versions of what nature gives you, depending on where you're from.
Right. And they just add gas.
Some of them don't even add gas.
Really?
Yeah, some of them like naturally carbonated.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them, like, for example, Gerolsteiner, which is it's a German sparkling water, they do add carbonation to that. But some of these come
They
out.
had to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
'cause it's super
fierce.
strong.
It's
Yeah.
fierce. But some of these come right out of the ground already carbonated. So, what do you have any favorites on the table?
I really like the first one we
The
tried.
first one's like,
Yeah.
that's these two are the ones that I usually get as everyday waters.
Okay.
Yeah, these are my everyday purchases. This one, I will sometimes get it maybe once a week or so.
Yeah.
And then these two are like, I'm intentionally getting them for like kind of medicinal purposes, really.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I'll just get some donut because I think I need to just up my magnesium just because a lot of people are deficient in magnesium.
Oh, sure.
You know, just like a lot of people are vitamin D deficient. So,
Right.
and I'm like, I just get it.
What
just-
an interesting way to supplement their water.
Exactly. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
get it to make sure I'm not deficient.
Yeah.
And then Borjomi, honestly, I just like drinking Borjomi.
And it comes in a can.
It comes in a can. It's easy to pound, and I also like giving it to other people who. So, for example, my mom, she doesn't even drink sparkling water.
Right.
Like she thinks sparkling water tastes terrible.
Okay.
So I gave her some Borjomi, and it just the face she made was just worth
Yeah.
giving it to her.
She just melted.
Like this, like she was like I just gave her seawater.
Yeah, right.
You know? So. I'll finish this one. It's really good, really good.
Looks like it'd be like a hard seltzer or something. Like
Yeah.
the can. The
I mean,
design.
it kind of is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I should get some cans like this for Kyoto Black.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Cool. So yeah, I hope you guys found this really educational. I'm like very well hydrated right now. I'm like feeling.
Same.
Do you feel like full?
Oh yeah, yeah, I do.
Like-
But I came in full, so
Okay.
I wonder if like this had no effect on me.
Okay, because I'm actually feeling pretty full right now. Like
Yeah.
I was hungry before we started actually, and now I'm feeling like.
You think that's characteristic of the gas, the bubbles? CO2?
I think that's a part of it. I definitely do. But also, I feel like my stomach is just kind of full. Like, you know, they say in the middle of the night when you get like hunger pains, if you just drink some water, you'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of times you're just thirsty.
Right.
I wonder if like what just happened to me in this moment is I just hydrated myself and now I'm feeling
Right. And you provided minerals for your body, things that like you
Yeah.
obviously that your body needed and might have been craving
Because literally
through food.
before we started this, I was like, dang, I wish we had like some time for me to eat.
Yeah.
Before we start the episode because I was feeling a little hungry
Right.
and now I'm not hungry.
Huh.
It's so weird. It's crazy. Yeah. Go fig.
Go fig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope you all liked this episode and found it informative. Please tune in to the next episode. I'm sure to have something really cool for you. And in the meantime, leave a comment if anything stuck out to you or if you want to make any suggestions. And I'll catch you on the next side.
Looking at me, boy. You're looking at me, girl. You're looking at me, keeping that love, but you're looking at me. I keep it red, but they keeping it coming. No saying that bad, I can do you no harming. But if you're gonna make me mad, no, don't ever make me mad. Cause if you're gonna make me mad, make me bad, make me bad. Got out of the case, but keep it